Ow. Alright guys, for today's video, back on the Z28 here. We're back at the backside because if you look under here, I noticed this a few, well, I guess it's about a week and a half ago or something maybe. That spot right there is mostly dried up now, but that was a big pile of fluid. I was freaking out, thought it may have been brake fluid really quickly, but up underneath the, you see right there where the brake line, oh, my finger, brake line goes into the wheel cylinder, since these are drum brakes. Yes, drum brakes. There's no leak in there, so I looked up there, and actually this rear driver side shock is blown out, and pretty much all the hydraulic fluid in there has leaked out. The other one isn't leaking, but we're change them both at the same time. I'm going to use these Focus Auto, whatever shocks. They're standard OE ride quality per Rock Auto. They're cheap, they're like 15 bucks or something. So I'm not putting in any sort of super updated shocks or anything in this now, because I have plans, but plans involve money. Okay, so watch more of my videos or just send me money, right? And the more money I have, the more stuff I can do to the car. But I have plans to redo all the suspension, all this stuff. So right now, I'm just going to go with the stock replacements. This will be bringing it back to the handling of what was, per Car and Driver, I believe, in 1984, the best handling car on the road. So yeah, so we are going to swap those out. They are not, it's not a difficult process. First and foremost, though, we need to go into the back of the car before I do anything else back there, and I'll show you what to do. Okay, hopefully this doesn't get washed out. I just had to try and throw a blanket over top here to try and block out the little bit of the sun coming here from where the sun is sitting at this given time, but we'll deal with it. First and foremost, you gotta drop your back seat. So you can do this two ways. You can remove all the plastic around the sides, okay, or you don't have to do that, and you can lift up the carpeting back here. So if you don't know, 3rd gens and 4th gens, they have 2-piece carpeting. You have for what is the front, which comes back and ends about here underneath the seats, goes all the way up underneath the dash, and then you have the rear compartment, which comes over top here, tucks in behind the seats, and goes back for the back underneath the hatch. You can just take here and pull the carpet up this way. If you want to do it this way, now just keep in mind this. It's not always easy to get this tucked back in if you do it this way, okay? But do as you will. So we'll just pick this up, lift the carpet out of the way, roll that up. So right here under these foam blocks on either side is the top of the shock. Oh, I don't even know what shocks are in here, but these were adjustable. Huh. Okay, so normally you would have just a, I'm going to have to see what these shocks are and see if I can get them rebuilt, if they were already something adjustable. Normally you would have just a nut here, and you would hold on to the top of the shock to keep it from spinning, but this is, since this is adjustable, this has a doubled up nut in here. So let me get whatever I need. I need a small Allen wrench to even get this off. So let me get those things. Once you get the top bolt off, you need to pull up on the retainer and the rubber grommet. Pull those out of the way. Now I'm going to do the same on the other side, and then we'll go about what we got to do underneath. Alright, I got the front wheels chalked up, and I went ahead and I just broke free the lugs here on the back, because what we need to do is now get the jack up underneath the pumpkin here on the rear end and raise this ass end all the way up in the air to be high enough to be able to get the wheels off, which you don't necessarily have to take the wheels off. If you're skinny enough, you can fit underneath here, and then you can just push the shock up like from the bottom to get it to fit. Push it up and collapse it in place. You can do that if it works for you. But if you're not big enough or skinny enough for that, what we want to do is we want to get this up, take the wheels off, and then put jack stands underneath the frame of the car over here, right where the lower control arms attach. I gotta go way up with these ones. These are too big of jack stands for this. Check this. Oh. So we're going to put it right here on either side. There's a lower control arm where it attaches. We're going to put it right there in the frame. I'm going to have to jack up some more. Let me just go ahead and turn this off and get back to you. I should roll this thing out in the driveway. I have some room, freaking engine here, shelving over there. Anyways, like I was saying, you don't need to pull the wheels off if you don't want to. Like, you could let them on at this point when it's up here in the air, because you can access it from the back, but this just gives you more room to work around and through. And as you can see, the shock has already dropped down because it's a bit tired. So now you just take and pop out these shocks, and then we'll go about setting up the new ones. That's a lot of rust. I had the shocks that were in here, and this is the one that was blown. They're Foxes. Fox Ride Tech HQ. I always associated Fox shocks with like off-road rigs and shit. So I'll look and see if I can get those rebuilt. If not, you know, they're whatever. I'm gonna be redoing everything to begin with. But so those are out. So now we got the new shocks, and it comes in the package. And we will have to cut this strap off, but you also will have your base that goes through, that you saw me pull off from the rear end down there. Then you'll have your washer spacer, and the gasket, or the grommet rubber isolator, whatever you want to call it. That will be one that will go down here, goes up inside, and then the other one goes and mounts from the top. Okay, and then we got, at least for this kit, we got various nuts and lock washers, and we'll see. This one appears to have, I know I'm gonna have to open these up and see which one goes where real quick, but that takes 2 hands. So let me go about doing this, and I will show you all the setup. So if you decide to go with this shock, it comes with an extra bushing for not bushing, a little lock washer thingy, not a lock washer, god damn it, spacer center washer for up there. I don't know why, but if you use these shocks, on the bottom end you have the flat washer, larger lock washer, flat washer, smaller lock washer, and wider but smaller diameter nut here. On the other side that comes through the rear end, it will go up right here. You have the larger lock washer and the narrower but larger diameter nut. Okay, on the top you have, this will be the body line for the car, so you have the washer and grommet, and then you have the grommet, washer, and then the 2 nuts at the top that will go and hold themselves down tight. And then you also need a wrench here at first to hold this in place to keep it from spinning as you tighten it up. So we're going to slide this up into the car, and I'll just show you this real quick. What I'm saying is really easy to push shocks down. So I'm saying you don't have to take the lift the car up in the air to do this if you're skinny enough to fit on there, but that's the way it's going to be. So now I'm just going to lie underneath here, or I'm at least going to sit underneath there, put the top up through, move these pieces out of the way. Get off. Okay, move those out of the way for right now. I'm going to move these out of the way for right now. Okay. I'm going to slide this up in here, see if I can do it one-handed. This will go up in the hole. The hole is right up there. So into line. This up through here. Or I'll drop it, sorry. Drop it down to get through there. Set it in place so I can come reach up here. Slide it up in the hole. Alright, so that's up in the hole, and now I'll slide this in through the rear end to hold that in place. Okay? So now I will just grab those nuts real quick. The ones I took off here. All right, got lock washer and the nut, and then I will take the impact gun and gag down here, kind of hold this just to lock it down here, both sides to hold in place with the other sides. Do it on the same thing, and then I will jack the rear end up again a little bit to go inside to tighten everything up. So I will just I'll do is insert the shock on insert the shock, Jesus Christ, on the other side the same exact way as I did here. Then we'll worry about jacking it up. All right, be right back. All right, obviously we're back inside now. I jacked up the rear end. You'll probably hear a lot of popping from the springs and stuff. That's all well and good, doesn't matter. They're just reseating themselves, and when the weight's back on the car, they will set themselves out. So now in here, other rubber grommet or washer space or whatever, and then the washer on top. And then you have, at least for this one, this lower bolt. Okay, and I will do that. And then we need just a ratchet to hold, something to hold it at the top to keep the shock from spinning as we tighten it down. Pretty much bottom out. Then the smaller one to lock it in place, keep from backing out. All right, and that is locked. Then your little rubber or foam piece goes back in there. You do the same thing on the other side, and then all you got to do is put the wheels back on, drop it back on the ground, tuck the carpet back in place. When you get on the ground, you probably may want to pop it up and down a few times, pushing over the back of the shocks to make sure everything's nice and seated, to take any of the pops out that you may pop as you're driving on the road, not expecting it while it's reseating itself. So if you just up and down a few times, it should take care of it. But yeah, that's it. That's how you change shocks, rear shocks on 3rd gen and 4th gen. It's all pretty much the same. So, all right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff, and I will see you next time. All right, later. Oh, hang on. If you want these shocks, the same ones I got, I'll put the link in the description. There we go. All right. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll see you later.